Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy Lotus Awakening, and we are back with a different style video today. And usually when I do my videos on my YouTube channel, it's just raw gameplay, but I wanted to try something different, and, really like move forward with the channel and bring new things to it instead of what we've done naturally, right? So what we're doing today is we're going to be going over the Victor changes that came out in patch 1.05, and I kind of wanted to give my insight on this since I do main Victor in this game and let you guys know what I think of the changes and see how Victor's going to move forward as Tekken progresses, right? So without further ado, let's get right into it then. So the first big change we're going to talk about is during heat, down back 1+2. This used to whiff up close sometimes, so now this change now make it so there's no whiffing at close range. So pretty good buff. It doesn't really, I mean, I really didn't have no problems with it, but I guess it did whiff up there. So pretty cool change nonetheless, right? So the next big change that we're going to be going over is one of the new moves that Victor has in his arsenal. So forward 4-2, which has been here since the beginning of the game, is something that's not changed at all. What they did change was that now this accounts for on block or on hit. You can now cancel into Iai Stance. Never was done before, and this is pretty cool in my opinion. So now we can initiate Iai Stance mix-up, which by all means, I'm down for this, because the more mix-ups that Victor has, the better in my opinion. So we have all these mix-ups at our disposal now to initiate on our opponent after we go into Iai Stance. So we move on to the next big change for Victor is that Victor, as we have our computer set up here for this, so Victor has a punch parry effect now. So Perfumer is now a punch parry effect from frames 5 to 10. So as you're going to see, the computer is going to do a down forward 1, and then it's going to do Perfumer, and then I'm going to try to take my turn back with a punch, and it's going to get parried. So here we go. And I mistimed it. There it is. Okay, so yeah, so that's the big change. So anytime you throw out a punch against Victor when he goes into Perfumer, this will parry every time. And you get some cool follow-ups with it as well. If you do land this parry, which I will show you when we get to his back 2 parry later. So yeah, this is a cool change in my opinion. And I do feel that Victor now revolving around parries and stances is really going to be a fun time for this character. So let's move on to the next change. So we have down forward 1-1. This was another move that apparently was just whiffing at certain ranges. Now this move I did notice, like if I would like connect it from like max range, which would be like right here relatively, or like right here, the last parts of that would whiff, and now it doesn't. So good change. So let's get to one of Victor's nerfs now. So down forward 2. Down forward 2 is a great whiff punishing tool that Victor's always had. Anybody that's thrown out a button and you're in this range, Victor would always whiff punish you. The big change that they've done with this move is now they've increased the recovery time by 3 frames on block and on whiff. So what this means now is that if I whiff this in neutral, I have a lot less time to recover. So there's, more time to recover. I have more time to recover now. So this is something that you don't want to throw out no more. So I mean, you probably still want to, right? Because it's still a very good whiff punishing tool. But if you do whiff this, you're not going to be able to move for an extra 3 frames. And people are going to take advantage of that. Same thing for on block. Now this move is -14 on block. That hasn't changed, but I guess with it being 3 more frames, they've made it so now it's a lot easier to punish too. So by all means, another big nerf that we're going to go over is Victor's next 3 moves. So his gunshot and his down forward 4-2, and then 2-2-2. All 3 of these moves, as you see, they have an expanded hurt box now, so this would elevate situations where certain attacks would whiff. So they've expanded the hurt box now, so it is a nerf to Victor's 3 moves here, so now they extend out a little bit further. So slight nerfs there. So we move on to the next big buff that he has, which again, this goes in line with some of the buffs that he's gotten at the beginning of this video so far. Was back 1-2 has been fixed to reduce whiffing midway through. So again, I never noticed this. Maybe from like max range this would probably whiff and stuff, but now it's not supposed to. So I mean, by all means, more buffs the better. So let's move on to the next big buff. This is back 2. So this is the one that we talked about earlier that I do want to explain. So back 2 now does 2 big things. So as you can see at Victor's health, if I can hit him, top right of Victor, he has taking damage now. So this was something that he never did in the past. Now, if they get hit by this, he's taking 5 recoverable damage, which is very cool. So pretty cool buff in my opinion. And then the combo damage scaling after a counter hit has been changed from 70% to 90%. So by all means, the more buffs, the better. So I think if we put him on counter hit, we'll see the difference. Yeah, look at that. And then you can get this now. So this is cool. So if you land this, guaranteed heat engagement. Pretty cool stuff. Make his parries better, so it gives us an idea of how to play him the way they want us to right now. And same thing applies now to what we talked about before. If you do this move and you parry whatever he throws out, you're guaranteed follow-up attacks, right? As we showed before, forward 4-2, sorry, forward 4-1 is a guaranteed heat engager now off of this. So like stuff like this is cool. More stuff for Victor, you know? I kind of like the way they're focusing more on his parries now and his stances, which we'll get into soon. All right, so next one is back 1+2, which is this move. Everybody knows this move because everybody hates this move for Victor. So this is a safe high, obviously it is a high, a safe high power crush that is a heat engager. And this move now has gotten nerfed pretty significantly. So now you can sidestep this a lot easier now. And they've nerfed the reach on it. So this used to hit from like 330. So like if we're like right here, if I can do it right here, that used to hit, no longer hits no more. So you kind of have to be like around, we'll say like, oops, like 314, not even 314, maybe like 290. So 296 is like the reach now for it. Around like 3, maybe 296, which is still really good, but they did have to nerf the range. This thing was ridiculous. And then if you notice, the last big change on this movie is a lot slower. So this used to be 15 frames to 16 frames. Now it's 19 to 20. So they gutted this move, and rightfully so. It was a pretty brain dead move. Like, I mean, I would throw this out. I would do that, and if they decide to press, you could still possibly do the same thing, but I mean, you are a lot slower now. So stuff like this is not going to be seen a lot more since it's not going to be brain dead, right? So the next big change is Expression. So this move now is very annoying for a lot of players. A lot of people don't like this move. They don't like going against this move. So the biggest thing that they changed is that it is very sidesteppable now. You could sidestep this shit. And they changed the damage on it. So this used to be 40, now it's 37. Not a big damage nerf. Still gonna hit like a truck. Like you'll see some of the routes. Like I'll show you. Like you could do like something like this, right? This is a filler route, so. And I dropped it. We'll do this one. And I dropped it again. Cool. Yeah, you know, this is great for the YouTube video. We'll just do something like this, right? Slightly less damage, so I mean, it's still pretty hitting hard. So it's still hitting hard. So I mean, by all means, they want to nerf a little bit of damage. That's fine. So, same thing goes for heat now. So heat has changed a lot for this move. So this move previously used to be 300 heat it would cost. Now it's going to cost 450. So if you pay attention to Victor's heat meter in the top left, yeah, that's pretty significant. It's basically taking your whole heat now. And like I said, we knew this was coming though, because this was a move that was pretty much like complained about from the start. So we kind of knew it was coming. The next nerf that Victor had was 442. This move is still acting the same. It is -16, which hasn't changed at all. But if you've noticed, if you've noticed, the opponent's a lot closer. They used to be pushed back a little bit more. Now certain characters couldn't like punish it, but if you did it from like right here, this would push them back to the point where they wouldn't be able to get a full combo punish. Now, anywhere you do this, yeah, you're a lot closer. You can get a full combo punish anytime now. All right, so let's get to his new move, which is while running 2. So while running 2 is obviously not the new move. This is still the same. But what they changed was while running 2 now can now be canceled into Iai Stance. So if we do while running 2, look at that. While running 2 into Iai Stance, and we become +5 on block, which is huge because now this guarantees this right here to be checked. They can't press after that. And then if you condition them enough, you can do stuff like this, or you could do stuff like this. where you can initiate mix-up, right? Or you can do the really unsafe mix-up, which is what they nerfed about it, though, is obviously you could tell from the startup frames, it is a lot slower. It used to be 16 to 17 frames, now it is 18 to 19 frames. The damage on it as well was 30 damage, now it is 21, so very significant damage reduction on it as well. And then the biggest nerf to it was +2. This used to be +5 on block, which guaranteed that, and now this no longer will guarantee this. And if you notice the opponent's behavior, once you hit them now, the distance is increased now. So now stuff like this, it's still like hitting, but I'm pretty sure if they like hold back or if they backdash, yeah, it's gonna be whiffing. Or if they sidestep more, it'll whiff a lot more, because you could sidestep after this, or after somebody does this. If Victor decides to do this, you could just sidestep it now. A lot easier, so since the distance is bigger. So yeah, that's a big nerf to Victor, but with now giving the cancel into Iai stance, we still get our +5. So this is +2, right? But if we go to Iai, +5. So I mean, we're still getting our +5 that we naturally get. We're just spending it more into a stance now that's going to rely on mix-ups. So let's get to the next one. So during Perfumer, he has a bunch of options, but now we have a buff to Perfumer 1. So Perfumer 1 was -13 on block. Now Perfumer 1 is -12. So now you are no longer launch punishable by Kazuya, because I believe Kazuya had a 13 frame launcher in his While Rising 1-2, I believe. I think that's what it is, right? While Rising 1-2. So this will no longer be launched, which is cool. I'm down for that. And the only big change that they made to it was on counter hit now. If you do this, this used to be +13. Now it is +14. Very cool change in my opinion. All right, so for the next move we're going to talk about is back 4, which back 4 is naturally like this, and then you could also do it in Perfumer 4 as well. So this move had buff to the moon. Why not? Like, they buffed it to the moon in the sense that now this move on block does chip, which it never did before. It is a homing high though, so they could duck this, but it's the fact that this shit now does chip, which is cool. And they made it -2 on block, which is always a plus. It used to be -6, and then I think that's like the biggest change that they made for it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, they did chip. Oh, sorry, the damage on it as well. The damage is on 20 now, which is cool. It used to be 17, now it's 20 damage. So pretty cool buff. Nothing crazy else about it, but pretty cool change in my opinion. So for the next buff that we're going to be talking about is Perfumer 1+2, and this move, by all means, now is going to be probably one of Victor's best moves to use. So Perfumer 1+2 is +6 now on block. This used to be +4. So now with them going into a crouch state and being +6, 1+2 will jail completely now. And obviously, if you play Victor, if this does hit them, yeah, we get full counter hit launch. And then boom, yeah, you're eating that much damage for counter hit launcher. So stuff like that, cool to me. I'm down for more buffs to Victor. All right, so for the next buff that we're going to be talking about is Iai Stance Up. So this move now is a thing. So this was never a thing before. This is a new command. So it says that it's a new command for warping closer to the opponent. So once you hit up, Victor like teleports in, and I believe this, if you do this anywhere on screen, like, it just closes the gap more, right? Which is cool. Victor closing the gap more on his opponent is always cool, and then you can probably like have some more mix-ups in it wherever, like, whenever we find out more stuff, like we can do something like this, you know. Some stuff is going to be coming out where Victor's going to be able to do some goofy stuff, which is cool. And stuff like this now is like the reason why I feel like Victor's going to be so much more fun to play for a lot of people, because now he's not brain dead. You don't have to sit here and rely on while running two, because I used to do this shit all the time and then wait for the counter hit. Like, you don't have to rely on this no more. Now we have stance, warp, you get strong if you get hit by that mid. If we do it again, you block, that's another +3 scenario. Like, there's so much options now that we have here. Grab him. So many cool scenarios that we can do, right? Moving on to the next buffs that he got, which involves counter hit changes. So Iai Stance 1 and Iai Stance 2 and Iai Stance 1+2 got counter hit changes. So now this obviously used to launch pre-patch. Now it does not launch. Now for me at first I thought this was a pretty bad change because we don't get no combo after this, but thought about it and I was like, probably get guaranteed Expresión now, and this is very, very true. And like at the time of making this video, maybe there's something that changes, but I have tested like all options on the ground for the opponent to wake up, and you cannot wake up on this. There's just like, he's even set to side left. I've tried it on side right. I've changed the wake up from all these. Like, you just can't do nothing out of this, at least from what my understanding is. So now if you do this, you're guaranteed this, which is cool. I mean, we'll take it, right? If you don't want to do that, you could always do that as well. I think that like this is the safer option too, because it is guaranteed. That's why it makes me think that maybe this is not guaranteed. But I mean, I have them set to every like different wake up, and it's not doing it. Like maybe if I delay it, like even if I delay it, like look, his back is turned. Like, so I mean, it might be guaranteed now. Same thing goes for heat. If you do it as well in heat, like it's just something that I feel like might be guaranteed. I could be wrong though. So same thing goes for 1+2, which is cool. Pretty cool stuff to me. I mean, I'm down for this stuff. Like I said, at the time of making this video, I could be wrong. Maybe this is the only thing that's guaranteed, and if that's the only thing that's guaranteed, that's still 52 damage, and that's really good. But if this is something that is something you have to hold, yeah, we're gonna take that all day. All right, moving on to the final two changes of Victor in this patch. So we're talking about Iai Stance 4-2. So this move now had a damage change from 24 to 20, so slightly less damage on it now. And the biggest change to it is the fact that now Victor can use this in combo routes. Now I haven't really labbed this completely, but we can come up with something real quick. So like if we do anything, right? I didn't even do the right combo. If we can do anything with Victor, we can do something like this maybe. That's pretty cool. I'm down for like new routes like this, you know, like new routes like this for Victor is something where I feel like he's gonna shine even more. Like this is cool. Look at that, bro. Like this is cool, man. I do feel like this is a W change. So anything that you do with Victor now, you get more corner carry, which obviously we'd have to lab out more stuff, right? So I mean, this is a cool change, man. See if we can come up with something. Look at that, like that's really good, man. Almost like from mid-screen to the wall. Like that's really good corner carry, man. Super solid stuff in my opinion. And then the final change that we're gonna talk about for Victor, and then we'll close out this video, is Iai Stance down 2. So previously this used to be +1 on block. Now it is +4 on block. So now what this means is Iai Stance 1 becomes guaranteed now. So if they do try to mash after this, this will check them. It is -12 though, so they can punish it. But there are options to his stances, right? So like you could do this and then cancel right into it. It is gimmicky and it is not real at all. But if they do block this, you can kind of do whatever you want, you know? So stuff like this is going to be interesting for Victor with his conditioning gameplay, because Victor can really condition his opponent where if they think Perfumer is going to be Perfumer 1's coming, you can do stuff like this, do that, do that. Like there's a bunch of stuff that Victor can do when it comes to Perfumer, and the same thing now applies to his stances. So stuff like this I think is going to be cool, where we're sitting here and mixing up our opponent with stances and stuff now. So like as Victor's progressing in this game, I do feel like Victor's going to be a bigger problem in the future. So I'm down for this though, because the more buffs for Victor, the better. Victor is no longer a brain dead character, because the majority of the time, like if you watch my videos, I'm just doing this, checking with this, or doing this, doing that, and then I would do that. It's like it was brain dead stuff. It was stuff that was pretty easy to do. Now we can actually like properly play the game, where we have like we can check with our lows now. We can, let me just take him off the counter. We can check with our lows. We can check with our good mids, because Victor does have good mids still. Up 2 is really good. Homing mid that goes pretty far. Down 2 is really good still. And 0 on block, this is still really good as well. His heat engager is, even though it is slightly nerfed on range and it's slightly nerfed on startup, still really solid in my opinion though. So I do think overall these are W changes for Victor. And is Victor dead? I've been seeing people say that the changes for Victor are maybe a little bit too much. I don't think so. I think this is like people just maybe hoping that he would have stayed as brain dead as he is, or he was. And now we actually have to think. And I'm down for that, because now involving his stances more, I feel like he's going to become a scarier character. You gave him more options with Perfumer. You gave him more options with Iai Stance, which is now going to change up Victor even more. Victor's going to be a character that's going to have to rely on stances now. And that's cool. If that's the way they designed him and that's the way they want Victor to be played, instead of while running two, then by all means, I'm down for it. Victor still has not really changed that much. Like, he still has very good mids, decent movement. His lows are pretty bad. Besides down back four is like his best low. But other than that, Victor still has exactly what you want in a character, and he's super easy to pick up. So yeah, this to me is gonna be a fun patch. I can't wait to make a video on Victor and play him in ranked, so stay tuned for that. But I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is a different styled video, so hopefully it doesn't sound like it's too all over the place, because this is my first time just doing this, so we are just winging it at this point. I don't got a script or nothing in front of me, so I'm just doing it to do it. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. This is going to be something that hopefully we could do more in the future, and maybe I'll go over different characters, especially other characters that I play, because I do play Lee. I'm trying to learn Steve as well, so maybe we'll do that for the future if you guys like this different type of video. So hope you guys enjoyed it again. Have a great day, and this has been your boy Lotus. Peace out, guys.